I mean, here's just a prelude. I don't have the details yet. This is what our president wants to do. Well, actually, he doesn't want to do it. He just does what he's told. The current income tax rate is 35%. He wants to raise it to this 39.6%. Now, most major nations nowadays are around 17%. Income and payroll taxes, 37.4%. He wants to raise them to 52.2%. He wants to raise capital gains from 15% to 28%. Dividend taxes from 15% to 39.6%. And estate taxes from 0 to 55%. That's the wonders of having a Marxist as your president, although he's not making those decisions. But anyway, very important, Ron Paul introduced the H.R. 1207, the Federal Reserve Transparency Act of 2009, and it'll be probably reported out of committee. It has about, I think it's got 156 sponsors. I could be wrong. And that's quite a few. If it gets 250, I think it could get passed. I don't know the numbers exactly. I haven't done them. And it's gaining some momentum. And in some of the programs that I'm going to do, and goodness knows I do enough of them, I'm going to talk more about that. I'm going to do some work on it on the weekend. And that's very important because the problem that we're facing, and all the problems we've had since 1913 have been by the Federal Reserve. It is an insider's insider club that just perpetually screws the public. It's a license to steal. And it's got to be taken out of their hands and given back to the Treasury. And along with that, we have to have tariffs, goods and services both. And that'll drive all of the U.S. corporations that were offshore. It'll make them come home because there'll be no advantage to being there anymore. So if you made something for $10,000 in the United States and the Chinese were making it for $5,000, they'd have to pay a 50% tariff. And that money goes to the United States government. And so that is the solution. And we don't export enough, to make it worthwhile to be really, really concerned about exports. It's imports. Now, I might say that tariffs will cause inflation. There's no question. But, look what the Fed's doing. I mean, they're increasing M3 at 18% right now. The lowest it's been in a long time is 12, which means that inflation, which is somewhere between 9 and 10%, is getting ready to roar, and everybody on the street knows it. I mean, Wall Street. So that's just some of the things that we should be watching out for.
Have you had an opportunity to read Eliot Spitzer's article about the New York Fed and the scathing remarks, questioning about the power of the New York Fed and, who's behind it, who they are, who's running the show, and, then he lists all the name, and I was kind of shocked to see him the first time in a very long time on CNBC. I think it was yesterday that I saw him, and so it sounds like, he's coming back, grinding his axe for, what he was done, but how credible is he with the reputation that he achieved?
Well, his judgment in his personal affairs have been suspect, and He's done things that obviously he shouldn't have done. Everybody makes mistakes. To his wife and his family and his friends, it's a serious mistake. To the business world, he's an attorney, and it's not a serious mistake. It's something within his personal life, and he paid dearly for it. And I think you're going to see him, until they murder him, which I think they will, he will go after them hammer and tong for exposing him. He knows what he did was incorrect, and everybody else does. But in this world we live in today, of situation ethics, anything goes, anybody can lie. There's no retribution or anything anymore. I think Eliot Spitzer is capable of reaching new heights. Now, I haven't read his piece. And if you have it, could you email it to me?
Yes, I would. I'll make a note of it.
But, the guy's trying to make a comeback. He's admitted what he did wrong. I'm doing a show next week with this ex-congressman, Nye, whatever his name is. And he did 17 months for getting gifts and stuff from Abramoff. And my first question is, I don't want to know about what you did. All I want to know is it as corrupt as it looks? Is almost everybody on the take? And I know what his answer is going to be. Yes. I mean, it just makes Sodom and Gomorrah look like child's play. I mean, these people are really evil. Anyway, I got a bunch of questions here. I got about 6 of them from Chris, but I got one here from George. Social Security Medicare question for Queen Melody. Queen?
Queen? I'm a queen now?
Oh, gosh.
Jeez, that means
with the incredible debt obligations of Queen Melody. No, not Queen Melody.
Does that mean you're a king?
With the incredible... What?
Are you a king?
Oh, yeah, you're incredible. That's all I know. With the incredible debt obligations that will be owed in Social Security and Medicare that can't possibly be paid back, do you think our government will try to inflate the debt away, or will the government simply default? What does this mean for gold? Number one, they are in the process of inflating it away. Number two, when we go into deflation, maybe 2 years from now, the dollar will be devalued greatly by then, probably down to 40 to 55 on the USDX. And all the currencies will fall against gold because gold will be substantially higher, which answers that part of the question. And all the nations will devalue simultaneously, and all of them will default. That's what I think they're going to do. And then they'll come up with this marvelous new currency called the International Uni. And I just invented a name for them. And, or International Unit, if you may. And they'll have that digitally fixed, and they'll try to stuff it down everybody's throat, and it ain't going to work. And I think that could be the last straw. It all depends on whether Ron Paul and his 156 sponsors, and hopefully he'll get 200 or 250 of them before this bill comes. If that happens, and the Federal Reserve is gone, the game changes dramatically, because the U.S. will have to do away with Federal Reserve notes and issue U.S. notes. So whether they will be backed by anything remains to be seen. And it would be nice if we knew how much gold the U.S. really has, because everybody lies in government. And all the people from Wall Street in government, they never tell the truth either. So anyway, there you go, George. You're covered. Next. The New New York Times had an article on the future of Social Security benefits. My local newspaper reprinted it. They say that there will be no increase in benefits for the next 2 years. Well, what else? Why should there be? Let the people starve. They say that there will be no increase in benefits for 2 years. Outrageous. Medicare payments aren't to be increased either. I am sure you must know the story, but I haven't heard you bring it up on Melody's show, nor have I heard anyone on local or national news talk about this.